They thought they'd found the perfect getaway. A quiet guest house outside of Asheville, tucked among the trees near the Blue Ridge Mountains. Emma and Noah had been together 5 years. City life was burning them out. Constant noise, endless traffic, neighbors they didn't know. So when Emma saw the Airbnb listing, private guest house on scenic property, 5 stars, it felt like an answer. The photo showed a charming white cottage beside a main farmhouse, both surrounded by acres of forest. The host, a man named Thomas, had over 100 glowing reviews. Guests praised his kindness, attention to detail, and sense of safety. They'd later realize those reviews weren't about safety. They were about control. They arrived on a Friday evening, just before sunset. The graveled driveway wound through pines and maples, opening to a clearing where the main house stood. An old farmhouse with chipped white paint and a porch light that flickered faintly. Beside it, about 40 yards away, was the guest house, small but cozy, with a porch swing and flower pots by the door. Thomas met them outside before they'd even parked. He was in his mid-40s, clean-shaven, wearing a faded flannel shirt. He smiled too quickly, walking toward them with both hands raised, like he was greeting family. "You must be Emma and Noah," he said. "I'm so glad you made it here safe. Long drive, huh?" He grabbed Emma's luggage before she could reply. "I like to welcome my guests personally," he continued. "Gives me peace of mind knowing you're comfortable." His friendliness was overwhelming. Not creepy yet, but too much. He asked about their jobs, the drive, where they were from, if they liked hiking. When they finally got inside, the guest house was perfect. Clean, warm, faintly smelling of lemon and cedar. A welcome basket sat on the table. Cookies, bottled water, and a note. "If you need anything, text me anytime. I don't sleep much. Thomas." Noah chuckled. "Guys, thorough." Emma smiled weakly. "Yeah, very." That first night was quiet. They ate dinner, watched a movie, and fell asleep early. At 10:42 p.m., Emma's phone buzzed. "Thomas, everything comfortable?" She smiled, half asleep. Host being polite, she thought. She replied, "Yes, thank you. All good." At 12:16 a.m., another buzz. "Thomas, sleep okay?" She didn't reply. By morning, there were 2 more messages. "Don't hesitate if you need anything. I like knowing my guests are safe." Emma showed them to Noah over breakfast. "He's just friendly," Noah said. "Probably some rural thing. People out here care too much." They laughed it off until that evening, when Thomas appeared outside again. He was raking leaves near their window. Noah stepped outside, half annoyed. "Hey, man, you don't have to do that. We're fine." Thomas smiled, his eyes never blinking. "Oh, I like to keep an eye on the property. You two seem like good people. Most guests, they leave me bad surprises." He said it like a joke, but it didn't land. That night, Emma asked Noah to lock all the doors. The next morning, another text. "Thomas, I noticed you went for a walk by the creek. That's my favorite spot. Peaceful, isn't it?" Emma froze. They hadn't seen him. They'd walked alone. "How did he know that?" she whispered. Noah looked uneasy. "Maybe there's a camera outside?" That night, Emma couldn't sleep. Her phone vibrated again. "Thomas, are you two still up?" She didn't answer. At 2:14 a.m., she woke to a sound, soft gravel crunching. Footsteps. She lay still, staring at the ceiling. Then she saw it, through the thin curtain, a shadow, a man's outline, standing perfectly still outside their bedroom window. He wasn't moving, just watching. Her heart pounded. She reached for Noah, whispering, "Someone's out there." Noah jumped up, pulled the curtain. No one, just darkness and fog. They didn't sleep again that night. In the morning, Noah stormed to the main house. He knocked, shouted Thomas's name. Nothing. The porch was empty. Curtains drawn. They texted him. No reply. They checked the Airbnb app. Thomas's profile was gone. Deleted. Emma tried to show Noah, her hand shaking. "He's just gone. His messages are still here, but look." The listing still existed, but the host name had changed. It now said, hosted by Emma, the same photos, the same property, except the profile picture was hers, a photo she'd taken from her own social media. Panic set in. They threw their bags together, ran to the car, but the driveway gate was closed. A heavy chain and padlock wrapped around it. Noah tried calling 911. No signal. Emma's phone suddenly buzzed again. Unknown number. Unknown. You shouldn't try to leave. It's not safe out there. The message was followed by an image. The same photo of them eating dinner their first night, taken from outside the window. Emma dropped the phone. They sprinted through the trees, following the dirt road that led to the highway. But after 20 minutes, they realized they were circling back toward the house. Noah stopped, panting. "This can't be real. We're walking in circles." Emma looked around. The trees, they looked too identical, like someone had copied and pasted them. They turned back, and the guest house lights were on. Through the window, they saw movement. 2 figures sitting at the kitchen table, their own silhouettes. Noah ran forward, throwing open the door. But inside, everything was clean, reset. The welcome basket, the folded towels, even a note on the table. "If you need anything, text me anytime." Except now, the signature at the bottom read, Emma. A notification buzzed on Noah's phone. "Hey, Airbnb, new guest arriving tomorrow. Please prepare the property." He looked up slowly. Emma was standing in the corner, frozen, eyes wide, whispering, "No, no, this isn't." Her phone buzzed again. Unknown. "Everything comfortable?" The same message Thomas had sent. And from the main house, faintly through the mist, came the sound of someone whistling. The same cheerful tune Thomas had whistled on their first night. The next day, a car pulled into the driveway. A new couple stepped out, smiling, stretching after their long drive. The man pointed toward the small white guest house. That must be it. From the window, Emma watched them. Her face was pale, blank, her hair slightly unkempt. Noah stood behind her, whispering something, his words inaudible. Down on the porch table lay a handwritten note. "Welcome. Treat the house kindly. It will treat you kindly too. Emma." As the new guest stepped inside, Emma's phone lit up with a new message notification. System message. New listing review available. The hosts were so kind. Almost too kind. The listing stayed 5 stars. The profile name changed every few months. Emma, Noah, Lydia, Derek, always one of the guests who never left. The photos always looked the same. The curtains drawn. The faint outline of 2 figures behind the window glass. And if you scroll far enough through the reviews, you'll find one that reads, "Best stay ever. Everything was perfect. If you're reading this, please don't answer when they text you." When Emily moved in, it felt like a fresh start. A small, peaceful house on the edge of a quiet street. Perfect for someone who wanted to be alone. She unpacked slowly, kitchen first, then her bedroom. Everything smelled like lemon cleaning spray. The walls gleamed white, almost too white. The house had a strange stillness, like it was waiting for her to finish moving before it could breathe. That first night, while setting up her lamp, she noticed something strange. When she spoke, just small things like, "Where's the charger?" She heard her own voice echo back a second later. At first, she thought it was acoustics. Empty room, bare walls, echoes happen, but the echo wasn't exact. It repeated her tone, her breath, but the words were slightly different. She tested it the next night. Standing in the living room, she said softly, "Hello." A pause. Then from somewhere behind her, "Hello." Her own voice, but slower, off, like someone mimicking her. "Who's there?" she whispered. Silence. Then again, "Who's there?" She froze. The next day, she called the landlord. He laughed it off. "Old place, probably the pipes or the walls," he said. But he didn't sound convinced. There was one door she couldn't open. In the narrow hallway, beside the bathroom, a plain wooden door, no handle, no visible keyhole. When she knocked on it, it felt hollow, but the sound came back slightly delayed, as if something inside knocked after her. That night, she heard tapping behind the door. Slow, careful, like someone was using their fingernails on the other side. She pressed her ear against the wood. No breathing, no voice, just a faint hum, like electricity through a wall. Then a whisper right beside her ear. "Emily." She stumbled backward, heart racing. She hadn't told anyone her name yet, not even the landlord. A week later, she started getting text messages. No number, just unknown. "You left the light on. Don't close the door tonight. It's easier when you don't move." At first, she thought it was a prank, but each message came seconds after she did what it said. She'd switch off a light, and her phone would buzz. You shouldn't have done that. By the third night, she unplugged her phone, pulled the batteries from her smoke detector, and turned off the Wi-Fi. Still, at 3:12 a.m., her phone lit up one new message. "Stop pretending you don't hear me." She stared at the dark hallway. The door was open now. Inside the room was nothing but a mirror. Old, cracked, streaked with gray. It leaned against a far wall, surrounded by a thin layer of dust, except for two perfect footprints in front of it. Bare feet. She stood in front of it, trembling. Her reflection stared back, her own eyes wide, her breath fogging the glass. Then the reflection smiled. She hadn't. Her reflection tilted its head to the side, slowly, like studying her. "You don't live here." It whispered. The voice didn't come from the mirror. It came from behind her. She turned. No one there. But her reflection was still smiling. When police eventually entered the house 2 weeks later, after her boss reported her missing, they found her phone on the floor. The final video started at 2:43 a.m. Emily stood in front of the mirror, shaking, whispering. "Who are you?" Her reflection responded. "You." Then the camera tilted sideways, and there was movement in the glass, like something pulling her inward. The recording ended with one final sound. Her voice, repeating itself, whispering from the darkness. "You left the light on." 3 months later, the property was listed again. Bright, recently renovated, perfect for singles, great acoustics. The agent's photo showed a spotless living room, white walls, clean mirror, but if you zoomed in close enough, you could see her reflection, just barely, smiling.
Thank you for watching. Kindly like, share, comment and subscribe.